Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. Today we are joined by somebody called Mark Drury from Qualatex. Mark, welcome to Balloon Market and BMTV.
It's wonderful to be here, Greg.
Yeah, again.
Yeah,
always here. Anyway, Mark, this week we've got Halloween coming up, haven't we?
Yes.
So you're going to show us a Halloween design.
Yeah, and we're going to start with the centerpiece. We've got some pre-preparation done. I've oversized and downsized some 11-inch orange.
Yep.
Which might give you a hint of what we're going to make.
I reckon you're going to make a ghost.
Nearly a pumpkin.
Pumpkin, okay.
So what we're going to do is, it's important that it's oversized, downsized, inflated again, and then downsized to 6.5.
All right. Yep.
Because we're gonna manhandle this balloon quite a lot.
Okay.
So it needs to be soft.
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to halve the balloon with both hands.
Yeah.
To try and make a sort of kidney shape either side of the lungs.
Yep.
And then I'm going to try and move as much of that latex without damaging the balloon into one hand.
Yeah.
So that I can separate two halves and make a duplet.
But one half's bigger than the other. Is that right? Is that right?
Exactly. So don't worry about doing that, because as soon as you get to the point that you can feel the twist undoing,
yeah,
you can just squeeze the one balloon and transfer air between the two balloons, and that can give you the perfect.
So you just squeeze that lower balloon a little bit, a lower part of the balloon.
Exactly.
So it went up there. Okay.
And then I'm going to use the neck just to secure that by wrapping that round a couple of times.
Okay.
Okay. So that creates a duplet. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is take some other pre-prepared duplets and create a cluster. Now it's important that they're not round. So
Yeah.
you're trying to make them segment-like.
Yeah.
So you want the rotation to be in the right way. And you want those knots to be as close together as possible.
That's really tight.
Really tight. And we're going to put another one in there. So
you couldn't use 6 balloons for this?
you wouldn't actually get a segment feel to it.
Okay.
And that's the problem. You get a 6 balloon cluster.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay, so I manage that one as best as I can into that segment.
Yeah.
Try and remove my hand without twisting the balloon. Open the other side up. And drop that down to the other side. But as you can see, we're going to have to manhandle it until it sits centrally. And it's best to pull the two bits apart because you've got the friction on the balloon.
Yeah.
And until it wants to sit naturally in its position.
So just keep playing with it and try and get it to be in that position. But
Be in that
it looks
position
like it still naturally wants to pop out. So what can we do about that?
The only thing you can do about that is to drop the final piece on, which is the piece that will hold it into position.
Okay.
But really, it is best to get it to sit naturally.
Yeah.
And see if there's one area that's going to pop up. Just keep moving it until that sits naturally, and then as it starts to form into the segments, it will be a lot more comfortable in that position.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
And this is a little stalk that sits on top,
Yeah.
and that's going to sit down in between each segment and just complete the design and make it look like a pumpkin when it's finished.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, you were properly abusing those, weren't you?
You do. You know, don't worry, it's Qualatex.
Qualatex.
Separate each segment, and we drop our motif, our leaf piece at the top, stalk, drop that into complete.
Cool. So Mark, you've put the stalk on now. How do you make the stalk?
Okay, well, we'll use that. I'll put this to one side. We just take a 160Q green and a pocket hand pump. And we don't want to fully inflate it, but close to, leave a couple of inches at the end.
Why did you curve it round?
I didn't need to curve it round, but by holding the base end on the pump, I stop what occasionally happens, which it inflates from that end first.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I'm just making sure that it won't inflate to the very end first, because that would be the wrong thing for me on this occasion.
I thought you were going to say so it doesn't hit you in the face, Greg, when I'm inflating it.
Oh no,
'Cause that's
I
normally
intend to do that now when I'm twisting.
I see.
As normal.
Yeah, as normal.
Normality's resumed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a small 4-finger-ish bubble, and then 2/3 of that in size, and then lock those off together, and then I'm going to repeat that 6 times, and then hopefully, if I've inflated it to the right size, the end will be just the stalk that finishes at the end. So it's just a case of continuing that process. And obviously, I've always said I'm not an entertainer. I always think of my twisting skills to be, you know, not of anybody like Rob's or you know, Dr. Bob.
Dr. Bob, indeed.
But it's a bit like passing your driving test. I passed my driving test, and now I'm actually learning how to.
You've got a provisional, but you're not
I have a provisional.
provisional plate. Is that what it is on the back of it? Is, isn't it? It's a P. Is it a P they put on the back of cars once you passed your test? I can't remember.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is a P. Is it optional?
I don't know. I think it
Shouldn't
probably
be.
is. No, it shouldn't be.
So it's almost like a 6-balloon petal flower.
Yeah.
But the reverse side of it is obviously slightly smaller,
Yeah.
which gives you that that curve to the top balloon. Just make a small pinch twist, and I'll drop that round to the base.
Yeah.
And that gives me, I don't want to have them all exactly the same,
It's a good job, Mark.
and that gives me,
You don't find that funny?
well, it's true. It's the same as the segments.
It's nature.
It's nature.
It is
I'm trying to
nature.
copy nature, and I'll never have exactly all my stalks exactly the same size. There you go.
Dr. Bob would.
No.
Dr. Bob, his accuracy is crazy.
It is crazy, and I've worked with other people that are exactly the same. But I'm a true believer. If you're imitating nature, nature's not perfect. So why should I be?
Absolutely, I'm with you. I'm with you. Right. Okay.
So-
thank you for that.
I'd like to put this all into a finished design, if that's okay.
Sounds like a plan.
So we've got a helium inflated balloon over to your right.
I'll get that.
Shall I get the other bits and we meet
Okay.
back in the middle?
Back here. 2 seconds. Go.
Okay.
It's quite scary.
So I have dragged through the base of here a 160Q
Yep.
to help me to attach, and we have a latex covered cake board.
Yes. We did a BMTV balloon basics on that with Dr. Bob.
Dr. Bob, yeah.
Let me search my memory. Yes, if I remember rightly, it was number 22.
Was it really?
It was number 22.
And you haven't looked that up at all?
Not at all. No,
That's
that is
amazing
amazing
memory.
memory. I can remember every single BMTV.
So we're going to drop this directly on
Okay.
to there, and then we're going to tie the centerpiece around. You will also notice that I've tied in a 160Q here, just at the neck, along with the ribbons, in exactly the same way. Just a roll tied the neck and had that in the centre.
Yeah.
And that's so I can add something afterwards.
Okay, I'll hold that. You tie that on. Sorry, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just
Well, no, you
assuming
can.
that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, you can.
Nope.
Okay, so just to make sure it doesn't slip through, I'm going to do an extra knot, and then I'm going to remove the excess. And then we can slide that directly through our design. The ribbon comes through the top, and we can also secure at the base using the 160Q that I've got by just wrapping that round and then back through to the top.
So that's the 160Q. That's not this 160Q. That's the 160Q that you attached to the base of that already.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should be able to.
Let's put it on the step.
Drop that on the step. There you go. But I'm not finished yet.
Oh, okay.
I noticed that you got some of this wonderful sort of tulle in
Yes.
in a colour that I'd not 100% seen before. So I thought,
What would you say that's closest to?
goldenrod?
I was gonna say gold.
Were you really?
Yeah.
So I'll actually just, if you can hold the base,
Okay.
I'll bring this back to camera. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my 260Q, my 160Q, to tie that piece of tulle in, so that it's not separate to the knots. If there was a cluster underneath here, it wouldn't get in the way, and it's just I think it's a nice, neat way of attaching that off with something that's the same colour.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a goldenrod balloon, isn't it? So
Yeah, it's close, isn't it?
it is very close.
I was surprised at that because I don't know where you get this one from. I guess Balloon Market.
Absolutely, yeah. We sell that.
Wonderful. And then
And everything. Here. So I put that back down?
and we'll have the base back there for just 1 second if you hold on to the balloon. And then what I've also done is attached a couple more pieces together with some spare of that, and I can just drag that under the base of the design just to create some harmony and pull all the textures together. And if you wanted to just pull it up and make it look like maybe the straw on the ground.
Oh yeah.
And just have that running through the design, and there you go.
That's fantastic. That's really great. So let's put it back down on the step, and there's your finished design. Now, we worked it out earlier on, didn't we? The extra it's going to cost you to add these bits.
Exactly.
So the air-filled latex balloons, the cake base, the 160Qs, the bit of tulle, and we worked it out as under £2.
Under £2, yeah.
But from an added value point of view, a balloon like this, bit of ribbon,
Exactly.
or that, how much would you reckon you could charge more than you would charge for your normal
I think
balloon?
this is easily a £20 retail design.
Yeah.
And the beauty is, as I say, the majority of it can be done in advance.
Yeah.
Making the most, with helium being as scarce as it is, and with the prices changing as they are,
Yeah.
you want it, when you're doing helium balloons, I think you want to make the most value that you possibly can out of it. And I think that really does that job.
Yeah. So it's just effectively still a single helium balloon.
Exactly.
Just looks amazing.
But you wouldn't always have to do a helium balloon on top with this same design idea.
Really?
Yeah. So I could show you that if you like.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's do that.
So we'll drop this one down into the background, and we'll use the same sort of components.
Ooh.
So this is a cake board, and I've got some aluminium wire at the top, and I'm just going to manage the pumpkin into the centre of there.
Okay.
So that's just in the centre of the design. Again, if you wanted to finish that off as we did before, that would be easy to do that. And then I've got an air-filled version of the same thing down to our
all
side.
right. Let's have a look at that.
So this is our same balloon air-filled.
Are you going to attach that onto there?
I'm going to use our stretchy tape from Click Click.
Oh, okay.
But before I do
Should we
that,
say hello to Click Click?
we should do.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Click
Click Click.
Hello.
Yeah. So I'll take a small piece of stretchy tape. Great with the removable sides, makes it so much easier. I've chosen to cover the barcode.
Yep.
I'm just going to take that off and then tie this round. Normally a single knot is fine for the friction side of that, just to cover that up, and then we're going to attach this directly to the top of here. To do that, I've already covered the end of the aluminium rod with a little bit of stretchy tape.
Oh yeah.
So that that's not sharp enough to pierce the balloon. And I'm going to take some more of this and lay it along the top, and then we can add that into the crease of the design.
I'd like to see more designs with that.
Well, actually, I don't think we should go into detail of how to do that, because I think I've got a pre-prepared
Have you?
idea to show you in full detail how to do this.
Okay, so there could be another show on its way.
So,
Or not.
do you want to hold that up on its side?
On its
the
side?
base? Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So if I just take our tape and put that over the end. Oh, it's very sticky. There. And then I can manage that directly into the balloon at a crease part of the balloon, and that will enable me to hide my mechanics quite well.
You've just got to go for it, haven't you?
Just got to go for it and place that into the centre. Now when we move back to the upright position, we can use the aluminium rod to pull us into the right position.
So I guess even with the tape, there's still going to be an element of you've got to get the weight distribution right.
Yes, you do, yeah. Well, we're going to have to finish it with a cluster to actually hold it into position. But I'm just going to tie my second knot. There's lots of different ways of making this work for you, but depending on where you want this as a finished balloon, all we need to do now is to put a balloon cluster underneath there to finish, and we can choose a couple of other balloons to do that. Have you got 3 balloons down at the end there?
There you go.
So I've just chosen different sizes for this occasion. Just to wrap those around, and you see how the cluster then starts to hold the design, and then we can move this into whichever position we like to finish the finish the design off. And I've chosen 3 because I just want to keep it slightly different.
Slightly organic. Okay, cool. Mark, that's awesome. So there you go. There's the 2 designs that you were going to show us. Is that right?
Well, we could do one more.
Another?
Yeah. Should we stretch out the legs of the stuffing machine?
Oh, right. Oh, I think we're going to have to do the clicky finger thing if we're going to do that.
Oh, should we have it there? Okay.
I think we're better. Yeah.
Okay.
Clicky
Ready?
finger. 1, 2, 3. Hey, and the Fonz is back in the room. Hey. All right, so here we are. We've got the Super Stuffer.
Super Stuffer. Love this machine.
It's something that became famous on BMTV. I think it was 71 a couple of years ago.
Incredible memory you've got for these BMTV.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? But yeah, it was. I think it was a couple of years ago. It was at least a couple of stone ago, and it was great. You showed us some great designs. How to put flowers inside, cash inside.
Yeah, we did a full unboxing.
Yeah, everything. So that was a good show. But today you're going to show us something.
Well, it actually comes from that. On the end of that show, there was something that I wasn't 100% happy with. I've got a little tip and trick that will hopefully make it a lot easier to do some more elaborate designs.
Yeah.
Which was where this Halloween trick or treat Super Stuffer design came from.
Okay.
So just a quick description of the machine, I guess, just to recall. We've got this sort of large split fishbowl type design with a seal around the outside. Really important that we keep that clean, because that's important to create a vacuum so the balloon can be sucked out so we can work inside it.
Yeah.
And that's just operated by a single button on the back, and the electric motor then sucks the air.
Yeah, yeah. I do know people that have had one of these machines for more than 20 years. And they're still going.
Yeah, I mean, if you look after it, the one thing they don't like doing is being moved from place to place. Yeah. But actually, they're most successful is the theatre of actually using them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you can have it in the shop actually doing its job, that's the best way of selling the product.
How do you get something inside a balloon? How do they do that? It's the magic of it, as you say.
And there's a lot of time it's for a gift. It doesn't matter that you're spoiling that magic because it's the person that's buying it that knows.
Exactly.
So we also have a really important tool, and this is the balloon stretching tool.
Yep.
I've taken a Qualatex Diamond Clear 18-inch. I've turned it inside out, and then I'm just going to put that onto the stretching tool. And as you gently stretch this, you can stretch the neck of the balloon out far larger than you would normally do or try with your fingers.
Yeah.
And that enables us to just drop that over the top of the machine's neck here, and then just ease that off, and then drop that down, and then it seals around the machine.
Oh, they're still attached there, that one.
Okay, so we just have to make sure when you're pushing it down that all of those prongs are off.
Yeah.
And you can see there's one there still, and then you remove that, and that's done its job.
Yeah. So now I can see why you do it inside out.
Yep, so now when we drop that down and start to pull the vacuum out, so now it's sucked all of that out, and then this is actually a improvement on the original one that we used, because that was a plastic material. This is now cloth, and this is just designed to put down inside the neck of the balloon there, so that as the balloon stretched out, the material's thinned from when it is flat. Yeah. And that just enables us now to put stuff inside.
So it's protecting the neck.
And it protects the neck of the balloon.
Okay. So what we're going to put inside?
So we've got some little 5-inch. Oh, that's tight. Drop some of these in. Thought that'd be quite cool. And then I've got one of our new 9-inch.
Oh, that's cool. Like that.
New designs. And I've also got a sand weight.
Okay.
So I'm just going to tie those off together.
This is interesting.
Yeah, this is the
secret.
Tip. This is the tip, yeah. Okay, I'll remove any excess. If I hadn't clipped my scissors in my pocket, which just happened. So I've removed the excess. Now this is going to be quite tight to get this in the neck here, because obviously it's bigger than the dimensions of the hole.
Yeah.
So I'll put my 5-inch down first with the weight. And I've got to sort of squeeze this to get this in. But we have practiced and we know that it does go.
Okay. I believe you.
Huh. There we go.
Well done, well done.
No panic there at all.
I was a little bit doubtful, if I'm honest.
Okay. Maybe a little bit big. Okay, so there it's just, I've done all different sizes because that's a nod to the trend of organic at the moment.
Absolutely.
And then we need to put one other thing in using our clip weight.
Okay.
It's trick or treat. So does Balloon Market?
Got just the thing.
Have you really?
Haribo, of course.
Are you sponsored by Haribo? No, you should be.
We do buy them a pallet at a time.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's hilarious. But yeah, we these big ones, by the way, you get these if you come on any Balloon Market training. You get a goodie bag, you get all sorts of stuff. You get an air freshener and stuff. But anyway,
I've been on Balloon Market training. I've not had it.
Steady. If Qualatex are doing it as well, you also get a goodie bag from Qualatex.
You do, which is true.
Which is always quite nice. Anyway.
So we used the clip last time.
Yes.
To clip some of your hard-earned cash, as I remember. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use that clip to hold the bag, and then we're going to drop that inside as we did previously, and we're going to suspend this bag. Now we could tie that directly off so that there's no chance of it slipping.
Yeah.
But as we used the clip last time, it's a nod to that design that we did, and I wanted to show how this will work with that weight. It's over 200 grams that's now at the top there.
Yeah.
Which is quite heavy.
Yes, I suppose if you didn't have any counterbalance, then, which I assume is what that is for.
Yeah.
Oh, I gave it away. But yeah, 200 grams at the top, it's just going to fall over, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So we've put a lot more weight at the top this time to hopefully show that there's a way around that.
Yeah.
So once we remove this, we've just got to tie this. Now I'm going to ask you to hold that suspended there so I can undo this. The clever bit about this super stuffer is that you'd think that you'd be under a great deal of panic now to actually get this knot done, but it doesn't automatically deflate.
Why?
Because the vacuum is sealed further round here.
Oh, okay.
Not where you're actually putting the
That's really helpful. Really good.
Yep. So we're going to twist. Thank you. We're going to twist there, and I'm going to use my method of using a 260Q to just bind around this now at the top.
So you're not going to tie a knot in it?
I will do, but at this point, I think I just want to secure the whole piece together, and then we'll tie the knot once I'm out. Okay, so I've got my two there. I can then release the pressure.
I see.
Now the balloon will go down.
Yeah.
Okay, but because I'm holding on to that there, I can pass my arm through.
Okay.
And that binding has just enabled me to safely do that.
Yeah.
I could tie that off separately, and a lot of people, I think originally I did show you could tie that off, but I want to secure the design properly, so I'm just going to tie a knot as I normally would in the neck there. Okay, and then pull the rest of the nylon line through.
Right.
There we go. Yeah,
Perfect.
quick knot on there, and then it's probably best finishing this as a finished design on the table.
In that case, we need to do the clicky finger thing
What,
again.
twice in one show?
Twice in one show. I don't
Okay.
think we've ever done that. Ready? One,
Ready?
2, 3. Hey, and we're back once again in the room. Okay, so we've got the balloon.
Got the balloon.
What have you got there then?
This is the base, and
Okay.
we have covered out how to create this, but it's a 350Q tied in a loop with a pinch twist turned to the inside, and then I've got an uninflated 160Q tied around the outside, which we're going to use to hold it together.
All right.
So we'll drop this on top. And you just want to drop that in the centre there on top.
It's quite heavy.
Okay. And if you hold that, what I'm going to do is just gently pull out that 160Q. Take that around the side of the balloon. And then we're going to tie that to the neck at the top. Just by wrapping that around and pulling everything back.
All right.
So previously, as we alluded to before, the problem is with a 200 gram weight at the top and then putting things on the top again, you're going to have a design that wobbles around.
Yeah.
We've got a nice flat base now to the shape of the balloon, which will stop that wobbling around too much. And we can just tie on our top. I'm going to remove the rest of this. We don't need this now. So just remove the rest of that there.
With hindsight, looking at the clip in there, that's quite a heavy weight for that clip to be holding.
It is. And when we did it with cash, it looked cool having that there holding the cash.
Fanned out, yeah.
But you could actually tie through the Euro hook, which would do just the same job. And it's really just a nod back to the show that we did previously, where we used a clip in the top.
It's doing all right,
and the weight
though.
those. Yeah, it's
all
holding
right.
it at the moment, but like you say, in transit, you would be concerned about that.
Yeah.
And we're just going to finish that off with a 5-inch clustered down size so it's in proportion. Just to hold Halloween pumpkin head up. And there you go, no fear of this actually being in the wrong position at all now.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. And that feels quite stable.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
And that's that extra weight. Obviously, we've taken this not to the maximum, but as you know, to around the limits with that sort of weight in the top there, and the weight at the bottom. You've got the same sort of weight as the maximum thing I'd use, which would be a champagne bottle.
Yeah.
So that's about the maximum weight that I think I'd like to put inside.
All right.
But it just proves it can be done.
Yeah. So you would support a champagne bottle in the same way?
In exactly the same way, using the nylon line, but what I tend to do is I put a 260 cube base around the champagne bottle, so it's balloon sitting against balloon at the bottom.
Yeah. Now, one other thing that you would do to finish this off, because I only know you would do it because I can see it over there, is balloon shine.
Is balloon shine, and the one thing that is really important is not just how it leaves the shop, but how it's perceived before the gift is unlocked by popping the balloon. And to protect that, all 100% latex balloons are going to oxidise with natural ultraviolet light, and that just puts that protective layer on the outside there, which would stop it.
And if I remember rightly, we did a show.
We did do a show. Come on, 3
I've
out of 3.
I have no idea. I don't even, was it a basics? Was it a show? I don't know, but we'll put it on the screen. There was something that we talked about when we talked about balloon shine, and you showed the difference. So
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
It's not bad, is it? Not bad. Mark, as you know, as guest on BMTV, you get to ask the question of the week.
I would like to know, what are people scared of?
Oh, nice what you thought about that as well. You didn't struggle at all. So there you go. What are you scared of? Leave your comments down below on Facebook and on YouTube. Mark, thank you very much for those designs. They've been great. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And hopefully, I'll see you again next week.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Bye.